The Guiding Light, presented by Downy, the fabric softener with the power to soften even rough, scratchy burlap.
Those roots are wrapped in burlap, rugged, skin-scratching burlap. Imagine taking the burlap off a tree bottom and making it soft enough for a little boy's pajama bottom. Impossible? Not with Downy Power, the softening power of Downy fabric softener. We washed it and rinsed it once in Downy, and this same burlap came out soft enough for a little boy to wear in comfort, from the tip of his toes to the top of his bottom.
It's really soft.
Now, nobody uses burlap for pajamas, but if Downy can soften burlap, imagine the comfort it'll bring to all the people you love. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, makes clothes softer and whiter than Downy. From now on, treat your family to the power that softens burlap, all the softening power of Downy.
Leslie!
Good evening.
Why having dinner at the hospital? Nobody eats at the cafeteria unless he has to.
I felt I had to. How else could I arrange to accidentally run into you? And you see, it worked. Here you are.
Oh?
Why have you been avoiding me lately?
I haven't been avoiding you. I've just been very busy.
Mm-hmm. Well, you haven't been avoiding me. What are you doing this evening? You have some free time, don't you?
A little. But I'm going to study, Leslie. I'm scrubbing on some surgery tomorrow, and I want to catch up on some studying.
On a beautiful summer evening like this? How can you spend it in those interns' quarters reading surgery?
I don't. On a beautiful summer day like this, I sometimes take a book to a park.
Why don't you take me instead?
Sorry.
How about my cooking dinner for you tomorrow evening? You have the whole evening off then, don't you?
But no, thank you.
Is the young man who doesn't believe in marriage turning me down flat?
Yes?
Why?
Because I think it's better for you.
Why?
Because you do believe in it.
Are you afraid I'm going to break down your prejudice against marriage?
Not a chance.
Well, if you don't think there's a chance of that, why not give me a chance? You know, your whole prejudice against marriage is based on your anger at your father. And sooner or later, you're going to realize that you're being absolutely ridiculous. You're protecting yourself by becoming a cold-blooded cynic. And it doesn't become you somehow.
You really think I am cold-blooded?
Well, you're acting awfully cold towards your father.
The way he's concerned, I am cold.
You know why, don't you? Because he hurt you so badly. You know, there's an old word, forgiveness. Haven't you ever heard of it?
Yes, I've heard of it.
And so has your mother, you told me. She's forgiven him. Why can't you?
Look, Leslie, whether or not my mother forgave him, or forgives him. Look, my father, with his affair with Mrs. Scott, is unforgivable. And if he's suffering now, it's because he deserves to. And from what I hear, Mrs. Scott is getting just about what she deserves to.
Keep playing, Helen. Want a close-up of that?
Oh, no. Not with these old-looking hands.
Oh, come on.
No. Housework's made these hands so old-looking.
Hi. Why, I'm Mary Mild, here to introduce today's Ivory Liquid. Helps hands look young again. Kind of like you had a maid, like me, to do your dishes.
Better than mine?
Only Ivory Liquid detergent has this special formula. Young Hands Formula.
Creamy white.
Ivory Mild. Makes longer-lasting suds, too. Proper hand care. And Ivory Liquid will make your hands look young again.
Well, a good one. No more complaints about your hands?
None. They look young again.
Pretty as a picture.
Take all the pictures you like.
Ivory liquid helps your hands look young again. Young again.
Well, there you are. Where on earth have you been? Dad was looking for you.
Oh, was he?
Uh-huh. He came home a little early today, and he was wondering where you'd gone. I think he was worried about you.
Worried about me?
Mm-hmm. He seems to think you can't take care of yourself. Dad's old-fashioned, and it's kind of cute.
Yes, very cute. Where is he?
Oh, he discovered he'd forgotten some papers, and he had to go back to the restaurant and get them.
Oh.
He should be home soon, though. I fixed dinner myself.
Good.
So where have you been, anyway?
Is it really important? I just went out for a few minutes. That's all that matters. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I shouldn't have said that. It's just that I guess I'm used to working, and I'm finding it difficult being a homebody. Come on. Sit down. Tell me. How's school? Studying for your exam?
I'll stay. John was supposed to come over and help me, but he never showed.
Well, I think that's just as well. You know, I don't really approve of this studying together, especially for exams.
You know, I called his house and there was no answer. Maybe he went to the library.
Well, it's a good place to concentrate.
Hey, Meg, I'm home.
Dad!
Hi, sweetheart. Well, I see the prodigal has returned. Hello, Maggie.
Oh, did you get those papers you needed?
Papers? Oh, sure, I got them. Did you get the dinner started, honey?
Mm-hmm. And I've decided to fix it all tonight. I'm going to give Mom a rest.
Well, suppose you go in there and cook it. I'd like to have a few words with your mother alone.
Oh, I know. You're going to scold her for not leaving a note about where she went. He was really worried about you, Mom.
So you said, dear.
Better run along, honey. When Daddy lectures Mommy, that's not for your young ears to hear.
Well, I advise you not to lecture her, because if I know Mom, you'll get a lecture right back.
Well, where were you?
I went out. Why?
Couldn't you have left a note where you were going?
If I'd have left a note, you wouldn't know any more than you know now. Because I didn't know where I was going.
Which means what?
Which means I got out of this house for a little while. Any place was better.
I see. You gave me a little start this afternoon. I thought maybe you had decided to take off. Just don't ever do that again.
Are you out of your mind? Look, I will go where I please and I will do as I please. What do you think this home is? A jail and you're a jailer? Oh, you don't trust me, do you? And you know why? Because you're a cheat and you think everybody else is a cheat.
I'd still like to know where you went today.
All right, I'll tell you. The whole dark truth. I went to the movies.
Okay, let's close the book on it. I wasn't really too worried about where you went today, because I made it a point to find out where you didn't go.
What are you talking about?
I just had a nice, long talk with Bill Bauer.
Here's a present.
For me, Josephine?
Yep, I give all of my new customers the newest and best cleanser.
New extra strength Comet.
Gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser. Even yours.
Oh, mine's pretty good.
Comet's so good, it can remove stains better with one try than yours does with 2 tries.
You mean it?
I'll prove it. Here's your cleanser's first try on this food stain. Wet it and wait.
It needs a second chance.
Okay, but Comet only needs 1. Wet 'em, wait again.
Mine still left some stain after 2 tries.
But Comet did the job in just 1 try. Comet's the stain-removing cleanser. The only one with superchlorinol. Disinfects better, too.
Well, Josephine, you gave me my first Comet, but it won't be my last.
Comet's habit forming. New extra strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser.
You went to see Bill?
In his office. I went kind of expecting to find you there. I was very gratified that I was wrong about that. But I didn't expect to find what I did find. There he was, all alone in his office after hours. No Maggie around this time. But do you know what he did have?
What?
A bottle.
Oh, stop it. Bill Bauer doesn't drink.
Didn't. He does now. Oh, you should have seen him, Maggie. It would have done your heart good. Because it would have cured you of that lingering love you still have for that guy. He was plastered to the gills.
I don't believe you.
Don't you? Okay, let's hop in the car and go down to the office right now. I'm sure he's still there. He was too drunk to get out of the place.
Are you serious about this?
Bill Bauer is a lush.
I can't believe that. I can't believe... As long as I've known him, he's never taken a drink.
Well, that ought to tell you something. Normal guys drink a little from time to time. I really wish you'd let me take you down there. I think it would do our marriage a lot of good. Are you sure you won't?
Don't be ridiculous.
Okay, I just wanted to prove it to you since you don't take my word for things. I guess it was too much for him. Giving up the beautiful Maggie, going back to that nice, plain Mrs. Bauer. Anyway, I thought you ought to know that somewhat by chance, you married a real, solid citizen. Me. And your great romantic dream that you just missed marrying turns out to be a barrel of whiskey. Oh, boy, when are you women going to learn to give up those illusions?
But at least I have no illusions about you.
Oh, yes, you do. Lots of them. Now, you think Bill Bauer is better than me. That's one of your big illusions. Well, I may have done some crooked things in my time, but at least I can walk a straight line, and that's more than Bauer can do right now.
Drunk or sober, Bill Bauer is more of a man than you'll ever be.
Sure he is. I notice you're not willing to go down there to find out what kind of a man he really is. Oh, yes. He's a great man. Great lover. Great husband. And a great father. I'm sure his son, the doctor, would testify to that.
Hey, Dad, hit me a high one this time, will you?
Sure, son. Anything you like. Hey, nice catch, son. You're getting better every day.
The Guiding Light has been presented by new Extra Strength Comet, the stain-removing cleanser, now also in the plastic decorator size and the plastic bathroom bundle. The Guiding Light, presented by Downey, the fabric softener with the power to soften even rough, scratchy canvas.
Take one little girl and one canvas money bag without the money. Now you'll see how stiff, scratchy canvas like this can be made soft enough to be a little girl's nightie. Impossible? Not with the softening power of Downey. We washed a canvas nightie, then rinsed it in Downey. Nothing, absolutely nothing, works harder than Downey to get clothes soft and white. Just feel how soft Downy makes scratchy canvas.
It's amazing. It's soft as a kitten.
Now, nobody uses canvas for nighties. But if Downy can soften stiff, scratchy canvas, imagine how soft, how comfortable it will make real nighties and all your family's clothes. From now on, treat your family to the power that softens canvas. All the softening power of Downy.
Now, Papa Bow, you know we'd love to have you live here with us when Maida and Bruce move to New York.
Well, it's very kind of you, and I'm grateful because it makes an old man feel good when he's wanted.
Well, you certainly are. Now, how about it?
Well, I'm not sure whether that's so good.
Well, why do you say that?
Well, you want me, but what about Willie under the circumstances?
Papa Bauer, he's your son. He loves you very much.
Yeah, when Willie is himself, we are very close. But when he's drinking, I don't think he likes me around. Even if I don't say a word to him, I'll be seeming to scold him.
Look, you're a very understanding person. And that's what Bill needs.
Yeah, understanding.
Don't close the door on the idea, please. You know, it'd be very good for Bill to have you here, and it certainly would be very good for me.
Well, let me think about it. Anyway, Maida and Bruce want me just to go for a little while with them to New York.
Well, do you want to go?
Oh, yeah, for a little while I would like to go to see my daughter and my son-in-law happy in their new life. You know, sometimes I think it's good to pull up all the roots, change everything, and start new. It is like, well, how do you call it? A tonic. Would be something for you and Willie to do. Yeah, to do something to shake you up so you can start new all over again.
Yes, our marriage certainly could use a tonic or some other strong medicine.
How is Willie better at all?
Not that I can see.
See what?
I don't know. I just don't know.
All right. We don't want to talk about it, and you shouldn't think too much about it. It's not good for you.
Well, I can't help thinking about it.
You should get out more of this house, do things, not sit around here and brew.
I know I should, but it's so...
Look, go and visit your friends. So many times have you told me you want to see Jane and the baby. Have you done it?
No, not since they got back from the hospital. And I have this present for the baby just sitting here.
So you both stop sitting here and both get up and go and visit Jane.
Papa Bauer, you're right as usual, and that's exactly what I'll do this very afternoon.
Oh, my Robert wasn't always a tiger. I remember when he used to give me the cold shoulder because he hated my old-looking housework hands. Hi, did you fly in here? Yes. Oh, I'm in no mood for company. Would you please fly away? Well, I'm Mary Mild. Today's Ivory Liquid will help your hands look young again. Help these hands? Ivory Liquid will. This doesn't. Today's Ivory Liquid has a young hands formula. Proper hand care and Ivory Liquid detergent will make your hands look young again. That's hard to believe. Look, creamy white, pure and mild. Sure makes lots of suds. Longer lasting suds. Well, young looking hands, here I come. Robert, stop. People are watching. Ivory Liquid helps your hands look young again. Young again.
Jane, she is adorable. Amy is simply adorable. I must confess, I think so too, Mrs. Scott. Oh, those big, merry eyes. You know, it takes me back to when Peggy was a baby. I just hope my Amy grows up to be as nice as your Peggy. Oh, what a nice thing to say. Oh, I mean that. Peggy's a lovely child. Well, I think so, but I'm a little prejudiced. Well, how are you? You must be very happy. Outrageously happy, yes. You know, I meant to come and see you before, but we just bought a new house, and with the packing and the unpacking, and the moving in and the moving out.
Don't I know? George and I went through that here, just moving from one apartment to another. We were exhausted.
You and Mr. Hayes must come and visit us very soon.
We'd love that.
And maybe you can bring your nephew. He's such a nice boy.
Yes, he is a nice boy. And a somewhat unhappy boy at the moment, I'm afraid.
Oh? Peggy mentioned something about us being a little down, but I thought it was just exaggerating.
Well, partly it's because Robin is so depressed. She still hasn't gotten over the loss of her baby, and it makes things at home a little difficult for Johnny.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, by all means, you must bring him when you come out to see us. Now, I really should run. I have the shopping to do and the dinner to get. I'm a housewife these days, you see.
You say that with a little regret. Do you miss your work?
Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I honestly do. I guess I was always more at home in an office, in a kitchen. By the way, that reminds me I went to see your husband the other day. He's looking for a part-time secretary. I'm seriously thinking of taking the job. I'm dying to get out of that house.
Well, I can understand that. If I didn't have Amy to take care of, I think I'd go back to part-time nursing. Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Oh, George, hello. Oh, what a shame. Well, yes, I think I can get Mrs. Blake. Yes, all right, as soon as I can, George. George's car got stuck somewhere down near his office, so he's waiting in a garage for me to rescue him. I'll get the woman across the hall to babysit for me. Hope she's in.
Oh, Mrs. Hay. Look, I don't have to leave right this minute. Why don't you go rescue your husband and let me babysit?
Oh, but you said you had shopping to do and dinner to fix.
No, there's plenty of time for that. Please? I'd enjoy doing it.
Well, all right. I'd appreciate that. I'll be back just as soon as I can.
Well, now take your time and don't hurry.
It's wash day for Mrs. Gordon Wade of Cincinnati, Ohio. Her problem, greasy wash, dirty wash, muddy wash.
When you've got wash this dirty, there's only one way to get it clean. The bomb. The dirt bomb.
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. Here's a cup of the most powerful detergent. This much more cleaning power is concentrated in a dime's worth of new Salvo, the ultimate weapon in the war against dirt.
I tried being nice to dirt with creamy liquids and fluffy powders, but now I use the dirt bomb and blast dirt to smithereens. Does that sound cruel? Well, what's dirt ever done for you?
Mrs. Bowen. Mrs. Scott. How are you? Won't you come in?
Well, is
Jane here? No, she had to step out for a few minutes, and I said I'd stay with the baby.
Will she be back soon?
Yes, I think so. Her husband had some trouble with the car, so she went to pick him up.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll wait then. How is the baby?
Well, she's asleep right now. She's adorable. It's my first visit, too. Mr. Scott and I have been busy moving into our new house.
Oh, yes, of course. How is Mr. Scott?
Well, he's very busy. And then when he has some free time from the restaurant, he's very busy around the house.
Oh, well, that's nice.
How are you and Mr. Bauer?
All right.
Has Mr. Bauer found anyone to take my place at the office?
No, he hasn't.
Well, then he must be doing my work as well as his.
He's trying to.
Well, I was sorry that I walked out on him like that right after the accident, but, well, I'm sure you understand.
Yes, I do.
Well, how have you been?
How should I be?
Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Scott, but I'm just not up to pretending with you at this point.
Pretending?
I'm just too tired to keep up appearances. I've been through too much. See, I know all about my husband and you. I know everything.
The Guiding Light has been presented by new Salvo Power Tablets for big, tough, dirty washes. Ready, aim, Salvo. It takes only one careless match to burn an entire forest. Be careful and keep our forests green. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. The Guiding Light, presented by today's Ivory Liquid, with its Young Hands formula that helps hands look young again.
This is a lovely anniversary bracelet. Madam, you'll have to remove the glove.
Must I?
Yes. What's the matter?
These hands embarrass me. They've gotten so old looking. Darn hands. Housework's made them old looking.
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Mary Miles. Here to introduce today's Ivory Liquid. Helps hands look young again. Kind of like you had a maid. Like me to do your dishes. Better than mine. Only Ivory Liquid detergent has this special formula. Young Hands formula. Creamy white. It's Ivory Mild. And makes longer lasting suds, too. Proper hand care and Ivory Liquid will make your hands look young again. Jim, I love the bracelet.
Aren't you going to leave the gloves on?
Now my hands look young again.
Don't want to cover these.
Ivory Liquid helps your hands look young again. Young again.
Mr. Westcott, the 210 will not be leaving today after all. His surgery has developed some complications, and I've reported it to Dr. Parks.
Yes, doctor.
Oh, Dr. Bauer.
Yes, Dr. Warner.
We have 6 new admissions for surgery this morning. I'd like you to do their workups right away.
On all 6?
That's what I said.
Dr. Werner, I haven't finished the workups you gave me last.
Well, that means you're way behind schedule then, doesn't it?
No, it means that I just finished scrubbing on 2 operations and just made my rounds.
Well, the 2 workups you mentioned I assigned to you last night. Since they're not completed, I see you didn't lose any sleep over them.
No, sir. I lost sleep on Mr. Rainey's peptic ulcer. He was hemorrhaging last night.
I see. Well, that leaves you 2 workups to complete and 6 new ones to get started on then, doesn't it?
Well, may I ask why I'm being honored with all the dirty work? You have 2 other interns on the service besides me.
I know how many interns I have.
Well, I'm glad of that. I thought perhaps you couldn't count above 1.
I can count on you, Dr. Bauer, because I'm the senior resident. It's your job to accept any assignments I give you. And without question, I might add.
I'm sorry, Dr. Werner, but I am human enough to question it.
What's the matter? Does the paperwork annoy you? Don't you know it's very vital to surgery to do a good workup on a patient's case history? Just as important as the knife.
Oh, yes, I do know that, Doctor. I just thought, why not give the chance to all of us interns for the excitement of the vital paperwork? I mean, why deprive all the others? Oh, hello, Dr. Jackson.
Hello, Dr. Bauer. Dr. Werner.
Dr. Jackson?
I've been invited to Clover Hospital to witness some new surgery involving an artificial heart valve. I wondered if you would like to come along with me to also see it?
Well, yes, sir. I'd like that very much. Thank you.
Well, I was including Dr. Bauer in my invitation also. Would you like to come along, too?
Oh, yes, sir. I'd certainly be fascinated. I'd love to see
I'm afraid the hospital can't spare Dr. Bauer this morning. He's a little behind in his work.
What work? Why can't you spare him?
Well, we have 6 new admissions for him to do workups on this morning.
You have 2 other interns. Let them do the admissions.
Sir, I assigned the work to Dr. Bauer.
So you assign it immediately to somebody else? Well, meet me in my office. 10:30. We'll leave from there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Dr. Jackson. Thank you very much.
It's wash day for Jill Wade. Her wash is so big and dirty, there's only one way to get it clean.
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. A dime's worth of Salvo has more cleaning power than this much old-fashioned powder detergent. That's why for big, dirty washes...
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Hi, want to know my recipe for a good moist cake? So moist it's brimming with rich, full flavor. The recipe, Duncan Hines Cake Mix. When you pull this tab, you'll get a cake moist as homemade. See? Duncan Hines cake is so moist the crumbs cling together. So moist it's brimming with flavor. For a moist cake, moist as homemade. Remember the recipe, Duncan Hines.
Now that's the patient in 211. All right, Mrs. Hammer, the floor nurse, will be back immediately, and I'll give her the message. All right, doctor.
I beg your pardon, miss. Do you know Dr. Edward Bauer?
Oh, yes, indeed I do.
Well, I realize that he's very busy most of the time, but would it be possible for me to see him?
Oh, I'm afraid you came at exactly the wrong moment. He just left with Dr. Jackson to go over to Clover Hospital.
Oh, with Dr. Jackson. Oh, I've heard my son talk about Dr. Jackson so often. He tells me that he's a wonderful surgeon.
Are you Dr. Bauer's mother?
All right, I'm back. Thanks for holding the fort for me, Miss Jackson. Any messages?
Just one. Dr. Barnes called, and I wrote the message down for you.
Thank you. Well, are you by any chance Leslie Jackson?
Yes, I certainly am. I'm so glad to meet you, Mrs. Bauer.
Well, isn't this nice? I've been wanting to meet you very much. I've heard Ed talk about you so much.
Oh, that's nice to hear. I hope he said some nice things about me.
Oh, you can be sure he did. Well, can we talk for a minute, or am I interrupting your work?
Well, the work I do is pretty easy to interrupt. It's not very important work.
I think you're probably being much too modest. My sister-in-law, Mrs. Banning, was a nurse at aide too, and she tells me that you people do a lot of the hospital's work in your quiet way.
Well, I'm sure Mrs. Banning did, but I'm afraid I'm something of a loafer. Oh, she is so nice. I'm so sorry to hear that she and Dr. Banning are moving to New York.
Well, we're all very sorry to see them go, but he's been offered a wonderful position there, you know.
So she told me. Oh, I met Ed's grandfather here the other day. He's such a charming gentleman.
Well, there's no one quite like Papa Bauer.
Oh, and I met your husband here once, too, and, well, I guess I just like all the Bauers. You're a weakness of mine.
Oh, what a nice thing to say. Well, I'm going to have to see to it that Ed brings you home real soon so that we can really get acquainted.
I'd like that very much.
And I do hope to meet your mother and father sometime, too.
Well, I'm sure you'll meet my father. He's pretty fond of your son, but, well, my mother's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, she died when I was born.
So you never knew her?
Only indirectly, I'm afraid. Through my father's eyes. His memories.
Oh, that... Well, I am sorry. Oh, good heavens, look at the time. I really shouldn't keep you from your work any longer.
Well, aren't you going to wait for your son?
Oh, I'd better not. I have so much to do at home, and heaven knows when he'll get back. But you have to come and visit us. I'm going to see to it that Ed brings you out real soon.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Can I give a message to him for you, or should I tell him to call you?
No, but if you would tell him that I'd like to see him as soon as possible, if he could get home for an hour or so.
Tonight?
Well, no. No, if he could come during the day, preferably. Urge him to come during the day, will you? Goodbye, dear. It was lovely meeting you.
It was nice meeting you.
And I'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Take one little girl and one canvas money bag without the money. Now you'll see how stiff, scratchy canvas like this can be made soft enough to be a little girl's nightie. Impossible? Not with the softening power of Downy. We washed a canvas nightie, then rinsed it in Downy. Nothing, absolutely nothing, works harder than Downy to get clothes soft and white. Just feel how soft Downy makes scratchy canvas.
It's amazing. It's soft as a kitten.
Now, nobody uses canvas for nighties, but if Downy can soften stiff, scratchy canvas, imagine how soft, how comfortable it will make real nighties and all your family's clothes. From now on, treat your family to the power that softens canvas, all the softening power of Downy.
I heard you just got back, and they told me I'd find you here. I have a message for you.
Oh, well, sit down and let's have it.
I can't. I need it on the floor. Your mother was here.
Ma?
Yeah, she'd like you to come home for a couple of hours today, if you can.
Today?
Yes. Well, she didn't exactly say that, but I got the feeling it was quite urgent.
Oh, it must be something to do with my father again. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Well, do try to get home. I have to go now.
Oh, I hope I'm not driving you away from Dr. Bauer.
Hardly, Dr. Werner. See you later.
Well, how'd you like that heart surgery?
Well, it was fascinating. I liked it very much.
I'm sure you did. Liked it a lot more than those dull workups I wanted you to do, I imagine.
Dr. Werner, I'm a pretty dull fellow if I chose workups to the latest heart surgery, wouldn't I?
And you're not a dull fellow, are you? No, sir, not a dull fellow at all. Oh. Yeah. Well, I'm beginning to realize you're not very dull.
Well, I'm glad you're beginning.
No, as a matter of fact, I think you're just about as smart as they come. I give you a job you don't want to do, and just like that, you get out of it.
Dr. Jackson got me out of it, fortunately.
Yes, he did, didn't he? All right, Dr. Bauer. I surrender. I'm not going to fight it anymore. It's a losing battle. When you play the game this way, I haven't got a chance.
Play the game what way?
Why, you've got an assistant that any young surgeon would give his eye teeth to get. You've got Leslie, the great man's daughter. She's sweet on you. You're sweet on surgery, and Dr. Jackson's going to see to it that his son-in-law has a really sweet surgical career.
Are you crazy?
Oh, well, one thing's a cinch. You're not.
No, you are. Dr. Warner, you just quit judging other people by yourself. Boy, you're way off the track.
What? I'm misjudging you? I doubt it.
Look, I don't plan to marry anybody. Including Leslie Jackson, as nice as she is. My main interest in life is surgery. And I plan to devote my life to that, believe it or not.
You know, I find that hard to believe since Dr. Jackson can make you as a surgeon.
If Dr. Jackson makes me a surgeon, it'll be only because I have the talent to be one. And for no other reason, because I'll give him no other reason. I plan to make it on my own merit, or I don't make it at all.
You know, I almost think you're not kidding.
Well, that's good. Because then you're almost right. I'm not.
The Guiding Light has been presented by Downy, the fabric softener with the power to soften even rough, scratchy burlap. The Guiding Light, presented by new Extra Strength Comet, the stain-removing cleanser, now also in the plastic decorator size and the plastic bathroom bundle.
Josephine, am I seeing things? Nope. It really happened, Mrs. King. Comet removed that stain better with one try than my cleanser did with 2 tries. That's how good it is. New Extra Strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser. Now, I want to do that test myself on this other food stain. Here's my cleanser's first try. Now, wet it and wait. Stained a little bit. I'll give it a second try. Okay, but give Comet just 1 try. Wet and wait again. How do you like that? My cleanser still left some stain after 2 tries. But Comet clean with only 1. And how? Comet's the stain-removing cleanser. The only one with superchlorinol. Disinfects better, too. Well, after seeing that test again, and seeing Comet win, I can't see using anything else. New Extra Strength Comet gets out stains far better than any other leading cleanser.
How do you know I'm here? Oh, of course, Robin told you. I forgot for him to give her my address.
How are you? Gee, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, aren't you going to invite me in?
Oh, of course, come in. You took me so by surprise I forgot all my good manners.
You sure there's room enough for the 2 of us here in this little tiny hideout of yours?
Well, we'll manage to squeeze you in. Well, it's fine for an old man. Smaller apartment, the less steps I have to take. Now tell me, maybe I could give you a freshly brewed cup of coffee?
I've got a better idea. Why don't you put your coat on, come home with me tonight?
Oh, what's this? Just because I moved into your neighborhood, you have not to take me home and feed me?
I certainly do.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I have plenty of food here and good food, and I'm a good cook, too, for don't
Are
forget
you
that.
trying to tell me you're a better cook than Robin?
Oh, no.
Oh, don't argue with me.
All right. But before we go,
you must try a little of my hospitality, yeah? A good cup of coffee.
Okay, that's a deal. Tell me how I made him and Bruce. He seemed very happy with his job in the letter he wrote me.
Yeah, this is what you always wanted to do.
And how about Maida?
Well,
thank you.
What pleases Bruce pleases Meta. When her husband is happy, she's happy.
But I gather you were not happy there.
Oh, yes. They were very wonderful to me. She wanted me to do it. Mine, I wanted to come home.
Well, I can understand that, but surely you don't call this home, this little room?
Yes, it's fine. How much room does an old man need?
Papa Bauer, why don't Bert and Bill know you're back yet?
Well, I wanted to rest up for a few days from the trip, and then I'll go and see Bert.
Is it because of Bill drinking?
Many reasons, but please, I do not wish to talk about it.
Oh, I wish you would. Come on, you can talk to me. What's behind all this?
I cannot be a burden to Willie.
A burden to Bill? That's ridiculous.
No. I would now be certainly a burden to him, and poor Willie. He has already more burdens than he knows how to carry.
Mrs. States is in the habit of using a popular cooking oil. See what happens when she tastes potatoes fried in an oil she's never tried.
Oh, they're good. They're not oily or salted. Because they're fried right in Crisco oil, a vegetable oil without that heavy oily taste. Here's your oil. Here's the oil. Any difference?
This one is very dark. It's yellow. And this one is kind of light.
The light one is Crisco oil. How does Crisco oil taste?
It's not heavy at all. Very good.
And your oil?
I never tasted it before. It's still on my tongue.
Didn't you know about Crisco oil?
Well, I had heard of it. As I said, I've never used it.
You think you'll try Crisco oil now?
I really will. I like it better. It really, I can't get over the difference.
You discovered Crisco oil. It's lighter, high in polyunsaturates, an oil without that heavy, oily taste.
What makes you think you could be a burden to anybody, let alone Bill?
Well, look, Paul, I was going to accept Bertha's invitation to go back and live it, and then I talked to Willie, and he asked me not to. He doesn't want me to live there.
I don't think Bill knows what he wants these days.
Oh, no. I am like his own conscience, and he knows that I will try and stop him from drinking.
Well, I should hope you would. Maybe you could.
No, I could not. It would only make him worse.
Why do you say that?
It is like I said, I am his conscience, and his conscience is causing him all this trouble. He's drinking because he feels guilty about Bertha, he feels guilty about Edward, he feels guilty about Mrs. Scott. And now I should move in and add to this guilt?
I see what you mean. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I am right. Therefore I stay here. I only hope that somebody else will help him. I cannot.
Well, I talked to him. I didn't get anywhere. I talked to Ed, too. I think he's the key of this thing.
Yeah. And most than anyone else, Ed could help his father. But he will not.
Well, he made some attempt to. But I'm afraid it didn't work.
How could it work out while he is thinking this way about his father? I saw him today myself, and this boy, it is terrible how a young man feels about his father. I asked him to help him. I got nowhere.
Well, I think you accomplished a little more than you think. Ed flew off the handle with me, too. Then he did try to help his father. The only trouble is, when he makes the effort, this bitterness and resentment comes pretty close to the surface.
Come in. Oh, Ed.
I didn't know you were there.
Your secretary's gone. I just...
Well, come in. Come in. I'm glad to see you.
Yes.
You're on your way home for dinner? Is that... Your mother didn't tell me.
No, I came to talk to you. I at least try to talk, that is, if we can talk at all.
It's wash day for Jill Wade. Her wash is so big and dirty, there's only one way to get it clean.
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Introducing Salvo's Dirt Bomb. A dime's worth of Salvo has more cleaning power than this much old-fashioned powder detergent. That's why for big, dirty washes...
The bomb! The dirt bomb!
Miss Jordan, you have everything for the baby, even Ivory soap. I use Ivory myself to rest my skin from makeup so it can stay young. Won't any soap do? Other soaps have ingredients that can stay on your face, like deodorants, heavy perfumes. Ivory's pure. Lets your skin rest from makeup and stay young. No wonder more doctors recommend Ivory. For babies and us.
Pure Ivory helps skin that wears makeup stay young.
Well, Ed, I'm glad you want to talk. Let's try. I think we can.
Do you?
Well, I think you know that I've gotten back on the wagon again.
Have you?
Yes, for several days now.
Good.
Well, I imagine that that's what you wanted to talk about. I know that it worries you.
Doesn't it worry you?
Yes. But I think I can manage to stay on board this time. I know something happened last week.
Did it really? You mean you remember?
No. Not very much.
Well, maybe you should ask Mom that. I'm sure she remembers. Maybe she can tell you.
Well, your mother doesn't like to talk about it very much.
Mom tries to spare you of your feelings. It's just too bad you couldn't do the same for her.
Yes, I know. Must have been pretty bad because I don't remember much of anything.
It was very unpretty bad, Dad.
Yeah. Look, Ed, I know you were there. I'm sorry that you had to see me like that.
Oh, forget it. I'm getting used to it. Doesn't matter about me.
Oh, yes, it does. It matters about my son. It matters very much.
Well, I should think it should matter a lot more about your father.
What about him?
Well, he's back. But of course you didn't know that, did you?
Papa's home? Well, your mother didn't tell me.
What is home to Grandpa, Dad? I wish you'd tell me. Never mind, I'll tell you. He's gotten himself a little hole in the wall on the other side of town.
What?
Well, you look surprised. One would think that you didn't know why Grandpa is living in some little dump.
What do you mean, Ed?
Because you told him he couldn't stay at your house.
No, I never did that.
Oh, Grandpa?
No, it wasn't like that at all, Ed.
Oh, look, what difference does it make what words you used? That's what you meant, wasn't it?
Well, I don't remember what I meant. I don't even remember quite what I said to him.
You don't remember? You've given the axe to your own father.
Now, look, Ed, I told him that he should go on to New York. That's all. Now, I just remember that... I just remember that I didn't feel up to having him around under the circumstances.
Are you afraid it would interfere with your drinking?
I don't know. Look, Ed, I told you I'm on the wagon. Now I'm trying. Give me a break.
Why not give Grandpa the break?
Oh, I know. Now I've heard Pop. Well, why not? That's the thing I do best, hurting the people I love. First your mother, and then you, and
No, forget about me. I'm off your list, but Grandpa isn't. Grandpa still loves you. He loves Mom, and he needs your home. But you don't care what he needs, do you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I care very much. Well, it's just right now.
Great. It's established now that you care. And if you really do, have the common decency to go get Grandpa and bring him back to the home where he belongs. And whatever you do, don't tell him that I suggested you do it. Let him think that you were man enough to think of it yourself.
The Guiding Light has been presented by Mild Ivory, 99 and 44 100% pure, to help skin that wears makeup stay young.